Money Making Monday. A song just popped in my head. I don't know if I should sing it, but I'm gonna sing it. I'm getting tired of you. You don't never buy me nothing. What? See, why don't you listen? Erica was in her bag when she sang that. You got to play Jim, James, Paul, and Tyrone. Ooh, I love it. I must say, I'm a fan of Summer Walker's album. I do like it. I like it a lot. Can I tell y'all that? Is that okay? Sisters, y'all all right? Brothers, y'all okay? Listen, Erica knew what she was doing. Okay, baby. She was singing from the depths of her womb. Y'all will never understand. Literally was just sending someone to your page. Thank you so much. Hey. Mm, 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 mm. Child, not y'all sent me what Tokyo Tony said. We're gonna get into Tokyo Tony. I like Tokyo Tony. She's a mess a lot of times, but I like her. She's just gonna be herself regardless. Regardless if we like it or not. Regardless if we like it or not. That being said, hey, Couture Bays, it's your girl Britt Brat going live with the Retalk and Bay Squad. We've got to talk, okay? But before we get started, let's like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes solely. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my fave, the vegan water, and let's get into the mess, shall we? How you can like this video is by double tapping the screen or hitting those three dots right there. You see it? Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you like the vibes, share if you care. This is how you can interact with the video or hype the video up. We love that. Make sure y'all do that, or you can send a monetary donations. I know it's hard times out here, so I'm asking y'all to do the easy thing, the cheap thing. But if you would like to send a little donation or whatnot, you could do it there too. That being said, let's get into the mess. Y'all see who's on the screen. We're gonna be talking about JD Vance and his crew putting a police officer in critical condition. Why is he not speaking out for the good policeman? What is going on with that? We definitely going to talk about the Epstein files. Our beloved president, Donald Trump, has had a change of heart. He now wants the files out. We want to talk about it. We're definitely going to be talking about 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine, you need to get rid of that dog. That dog, it's giving either inside job or hoax. And it's looking like somebody inside of your crew is the people who robbed you. Not they robbing 6ix9ine. Oh my God, today. My God, today. We definitely got to talk about Miss Stacey Plackett because now she was over there canoodling with the ops. I told y'all, see, I don't have a favorite politician. I don't have a favorite politician. And I'm going to keep telling y'all that. I don't have a favorite politician. And neither should you. Do your job or you will be primaried. Do your job or you'll be primaried. Shout out to the baddie who got me this good lippy. Shout out to the bays. The bays always make sure my lips are quenched. And I think topicals, I think that's a black owned business. I'm not for sure, but I like them. Look at the shine. Look at the shine. Look at the shine. Look at the shine. Okay. Look at the shine, baby. You see that? Get into it. Get into it. Bless her. Bless her. Yes. Bless her. Bless the girls. Bless the girls. Okay. Like, subscribe the channel. Yes. But I really do like this. Y'all know I'm a big fan, a big proponent of lip gloss. I love lip gloss. I don't know. I've always loved the lip gloss. You see that? You see that beautiful? Yeah, I think they black owned. I'm not for sure. I'll look into it later. But I've been seeing a lot of ads from them, and there here comes this baddie. Boom. Topicals. I said, I thought I wanted to try them. Y'all know me. Even when I don't need the makeup, I'm buying some makeup. So it is what it is. And of course, y'all, I've been having a good day. How was y'all money making Monday? Hey, Auntie Gang, what is going on? Hey, Coco. Hello. Hey, Sirius. Okay. Hey, clutching my pearls. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Lakeisha. Good afternoon, beautiful. Whatever, miss. You didn't miss anything. We just got started, so make sure y'all are coming in liking this video. So we're gonna talk about 6ix9ine. We're just gonna get him out the way. So y'all know 6ix9ine got a resurgence back onto the internet. I don't know what for. I don't know why. I don't care, because to me, 6ix9ine I thought was out of here. I truly believe he is a snitch. I truly believe he is an operative. He is working with one of the alphabet boys and girls to do the bidding of the man, because wasn't he in trouble with firearms, and then here he comes back again? It's not making sense. It's not making sense. I don't know. I don't care. And again, I don't know. I just feel like, why are we playing these games? Why are you playing these games? Because I seen his mother, and I'm not going to play the video out of just due to the policy and guidelines. We do follow them over here. I know I don't always give that, but I do. I'm looking at it and I'm like, the dog wasn't barking. The dog was just chilling. The mother is over there praying in Spanish. The man with the mask on is just standing there. It's weird. Everything about it is weird. And because it's 6ix9ine, I don't know how to take it. I don't know if I believe him. I don't know what to believe, because I know when it comes to these celebrities, they love to lie. There's only a handful of them that tell the truth, that live in their truth, that are authentically themselves. And 6ix9ine is not one of them. 6ix9ine is not one of them. It's just giving a PR stunt. Exactly, Darius. So I'm gonna do a quick little poll with y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it is a PR stunt. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's real. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it was a PR stunt. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it was real, because to me, I'm not buying it. I'm not subscribing. I'm not buying it. I'm not subscribing. I'm just like, we have bigger fish to fry. What is this? What is this? Oh no, honey. He must be trying to get out of some type of insurance or something. It's given very much something, okay? And I'm just, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Nope, 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 nope. Child, anyways. Oh no, we don't need beggars online. Go beg somewhere else. How do you come into the chat trolling? You gotta follow the policies and guidelines. I made sure they were up. I made sure they were up. So let's see who else is on this thumbnail, honey. Let's see. We covered 6ix9ine, the op. Let's talk about Black excellence. Ryan Coogler is coming out with a Black Panther 3. He has confirmed it. Look, I'm loving Ryan Coogler. I watched every movie he's came out with to date. From Fruitville Station, the fact that that was his first film, it is crazy to me. I love everything about him. I think he's an exceptional director. I think he has a true vision. I love what he did with Sinners. I'm happy he was able to transform it. I told y'all I loved it. And it's everything to me. Yes, Ryan is doing the work. And I'm just like, Black Panther 3, yes. Why not? Yes, yes, yes. We need some more Black excellence. We need some of that, I need to see the Rawls take it even further. I need to find out what's going on with T'Challa's son. The hidden sun. Mm-hmm. What's going on with that? Are we going to see some things about Storm? I just want to see the story just evolve and just become futuristic because it gave the people hope. And I love the fact that they had that new scientist, that young black girl. Who is she supposed to be? Who is she supposed to be? I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm sold. I told y'all I was out here doing the with everybody else. Okay, Wakanda. Wakanda. I was out here. I was out here. I was loving it. So I'm thoroughly interested in the new movie. I just like his bodies of work. I just truly do. And he's so young. Let me look up how young he is. Ryan Coogler came out of college knocking it out the park. American filmmaker. He's 39 years old. That's really successful. He is really successful. He has a lot of college. He went to California State. He's California through and through. He has a lot of awards. He's best known for Creed, Judas and the Black Messiah, Black Panther, Fruitvale Station, Sinners. His repertoire is amazing to be so young. I never seen Anthem or Locks or Figs. The only movie I didn't like of his, Space Jam. The Space Jam remake. I had to look at that. I didn't like that. Mm-mm. 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 Didn't like it. So sorry, Ryan. I didn't like that one. I saw the original Space Jam, and that's the one with I Believe I Can Fly. Yeah. Mm-mm. I just didn't like the LeBron one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can we get the likes up? Can we get 80 more likes, please? And thank you. We're going to be saving Nicki Minaj for last because I feel like so many people have been pounding down on Nicki when she's out here trying to pound down herself. I heard some interesting things about Nicki Minaj from creatives, and I'm going to share them with you. I don't know if I necessarily believe them, but we're going to get into it because I've seen a lot of spreading of the information and whatnot. But I want to share this because so many people don't understand politics. So the best way to talk about politics is to use somebody who understands it and grasps it very well. Tokyo Tony, let's get into it.
The Constitution of the United States of America is the supreme law of the country. It basically sets up the framework for the federal government, which defines the powers and responsibilities of its three branches, which are the legislative, executive, and judicial branch, which protects the rights and freedoms of people. A lot of people don't understand or know what any of that means, and this is why they don't indulge in politics. Well, it was adopted in 1787 in Philadelphia, the Constitutional Convention. They later ratified it in 1788, which went into effect in 1789. Well, the structure of this, or the introduction, stating the purpose of the Constitution is we the people. They have 7 articles in totality. Article 1, legislative branch, that's Congress. Article 2, the executive branch, that's the president. Article 3, judiciary branch, that's Supreme Court and all the federal courts.
Come on, Tokyo.
Article 4 states the powers and relationships between all of this. Article 5, that's the process of the amendment. Article 6, the federal power, supremacy clause. Article 7, ratification. Now, the amendments, it was 27 in total. The first 10 are the Bill of Rights, which guarantees freedoms like freedom of speech, religion, press, due process, and much more.
Yes, come on,
now,
Queen.
You're like, what's the purpose of all of this? Well, the purpose for it is to establish a government based on checks and balances so that no one branch can be too powerful. But look what we got, Donald Trump. Now, to create a system of federalism, dividing power between the national government and the states. And remember, it's a living document, something like a living will. meaning it can be amended as society changes. Meaning it's not going to be stuck in the old time. They abolished slavery, that was an amendment. Women's rights to vote, that was an amendment. Stick around. I have more.
I love that Tokyo Tony is doing this. I love that Tokyo Tony is doing this because I told y'all it's going to take everybody. And if somebody is discouraging you from speaking about what's going on politically because you're actually articulating the point with facts, not fiction, with facts, not feelings, with facts, not just because you have likership to someone, facts, just simply facts, not allegiance, loyalty, none of that. Facts. We deal with the facts. We don't deal with nothing else over here. I know a lot of people like to deal with all types of things, but I'm sorry. I really started stepping up my political game when Jovi was talking about, I think it was a year ago. No, it was 2 years ago. When she said a lot of these people are having a modern day monopoly and that's not right. And I was like, what does she mean a modern day monopoly? And then I started getting real active because I only cared about what was going on in my county, in my parish, in my zone, right? That's all I cared about. But then I said, there's a lot of people out here who don't know what's going on politically because they just don't grasp the concept of what's happening because they're listening to people who are disingenuous, who are not genuine with their thoughts. They're either black targeted media or their pockets are being laced by somebody in a position of power that has billions upon trillions of dollars who owns them, i.e. hence why you see the MAGA wars actively happening today. This is why you see MAGA divided. It used to be one band, one sound. Now they're out here fighting amongst each other. Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about how she had a pipe bomb threat and all these other things. And she's pushing her America First agenda. It has everything to do with what Tokyo Tony was just talking about. So if you're sitting up here and you're like, oh, it's too much for me to grasp, baby, go listen to a Tokyo Tony. She said that so eloquently. I'm just in straight awe because we know even the ratchetest of souls can tell y'all what's going on with the politics. So how come you don't know what's going on with the politics? And this is why I harp on Stephen A. Smith is just a MAGA spitting, talking parrot at this point. He's not fooling me. He's fooling y'all. Yes, you keeping the media fed with the good information. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. Yes, indeed. Child, y'all see the people mad. Y'all see the people mad. They want to distract you. Don't even listen to them. And this is why I keep my live chats up so people can see in real time how they're trying to deter the message. They'll come in and say the most egregious, heinous things. They will put right there. But then when I'm running their background check, all of a sudden they act like they don't understand. Don't give into it. Don't buy into it. So we're going to get into our politics. I said, let me start it off nice and easy. As Tina Turner said, with the politics. All right, we're going to take it nice and easy. Nice and easy, nice and easy. So we're going to start off with my favorite, the vice president. Because did y'all know the vice president was out in Tennessee doing some campaigning and a police officer is in the ICU? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that about JD Vance? No, you didn't, because they haven't issued out a statement of prayer, nothing. They haven't talked about it. They haven't said anything. But the people like myself, I have been paying attention. I've been keeping my ears to the streets. It says police officer critically injured in crash while protecting Vice President JD Vance motorcade. No, I don't want to accept that. Okay, I just want to read the article. They always want you to sign up for something. I don't want to sign up for anything. And yes, we are applying the pressure. Can we get 100 likes, please? And thank you. It says, and this is the picture. Just so you know, this is Yahoo News. See, we get our news from everywhere. And this is the police officer. Pray for him. Pray for him. A group of citizens delivered first aid to Officer Justin Brown at the crash site of Maryville Police Department, police chief said. A police officer was critically injured after he was involved in a crash while protecting Vice President J.D. Vance's motorcade, police said. The crash occurred in Maryville, Tennessee, just after 6 p.m. local time on November 14th. Have we seen the Vice President say anything about this beloved police officer? We have heard nothing. We have not heard prayers from the family. We have not seen anything from his wife. Hell, we haven't even seen anything from our beloved POTUS. And this has happened. Officer Justin Brown was providing a dignitary protection detail escort when a crash occurred, according to his department. A police officer was critically injured in a crash while protecting Vice President J.D. Vance's motorcade in Tennessee. Officer Justin Brown was injured when his police motorcycle was involved in a collision with a Tennessee Highway Patrol SUV unit on East Lamar Alexander Parkway at Merritt Road at 6:11 p.m. on Friday. It is now Monday. Where is their press statement? Where is Pam Bondi? How come Pam Bondi has not said anything? She said nothing, right? Brown was providing a dignitary protection detail escort for Vice President J.D. Vance at the time of the crash, they added. Police Chief Tony Chris said a group of citizens delivered first aid to the officer at the scene of the crash. The officer was then transported to the University of Tennessee Medical Center and was in critical condition after the crash. Police said he underwent surgery the following day on Saturday. Still no prayers, still no, hey, let's pray he covered through, still nothing. They have said nothing. It has been silent. Silence is compliance. Police said in an update on Sunday, which was yesterday, that Brown has made small improvements since the crash, according to ABC affiliate WATE. Chris noted that the officer's injuries are significant. We know that the prayers of the community continues to cover him. Chris said his progress is expected to be gradual and he will remain hospitalized for an extended period of time. But we are grateful for the improvement we have seen since Friday. The police department did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. A spokesperson for the U.S. Secret Security Service confirmed to ABC News that the motorcade included Vance, but he has not said a statement. This is your vice president. Somebody is providing you protection and he's harmed. How come you're not talking? What was you doing down there anyways? Because the girls is saying out in Tennessee he was down there campaigning. Campaigning for what? I keep telling y'all they're doing stuff behind the books. They're doing stuff back in the shadows. And y'all think it's just a game. Oh, it's just nothing. Okay, y'all keep thinking it's nothing. How come he hasn't said anything about this? Catherine Pierce, the U.S. Secret Service resident agent in charge of Knoxville, said in a statement obtained by People that the protectees are not impacted by the incident. That's all they said. The U.S. Secret Service is closely monitoring a serious traffic incident involving local law enforcement personnel that occurred this evening in Maryville, Tennessee, while they were supporting a protective motorcade movement, Pierce said. Our thoughts are with the officers, their families, and their agencies, she later stated, adding, we value our local law enforcement partners for their commitment and service and stand beside them during this difficult time. In the initial news release, Chris thanked the bystanders who helped Brown at the scene. To those individuals who were a quick response, saved Justin Brown's life last night. We could never thank you enough. You are true heroes. To me, it's giving something weird is happening. Because why isn't our vice president thanking the Good Samaritans? Why is he not sending out prayers for Justin Brown and his family? Because his family is going without a paycheck while he's accumulating hospital bills. Just very weird, very strange, because I looked. There's nothing of J.D. Vance saying anything in regards to this injured police officer. Y'all always talk about back in the blue, but where is J.D. Vance back in the blue? I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Like I said, people love to come in here and troll me, but I always call them out on their BS. Y'all don't care about cops. Y'all don't care about your children. You don't care about fostering a better way of life because ignorance breeds ignorance. Y'all like to breathe ignorance. Y'all like to dwell in ignorance. You don't like to be anything. That's why y'all are out here crying about HB1 visas. That's why y'all are out here promoting and idolizing Nick Fuentes because you are losers. The very people set to protect the vice president, y'all don't even give a damn about. It's very clear. It's very evident. Look at them. They're all in the chat. Look at them. And for the replay crew, look at them. Read it. They're there. Don't delete your stuff now. Keep it. Keep your ignorance alive. We love the ignorant. We love it. We love it because it goes to show the children have been left because anybody with any cognitive dissonance, anybody who can articulate, has comprehension, understands complexities, would never get in this chat talking crazy when we're talking about the life of a police officer hanging on the line. How come our vice president isn't out here actively asking for the prayers of the community for this good officer who was protecting him? Unless he was doing something shady. If you can't ask the people for prayers, you either was targeting him, it was a targeted hit, or you don't care. And I feel like he doesn't care. Because if they don't care about the hungry children, because we know the good white folk was going to be without meals on the good snap, it is what it is. Hey, AT2, what's going on? You know it's always spicy. Hey, FT. Yes. Yes, we have to call it out. We have to call it out, honey. And just like we have to call it out, we got to call out Stacy, our good homegirl. Stacy Plaskett, yes. United States House of Representatives. Let's get into this good news, girl. Shout out to the Washington Post. I told y'all, I don't care whose side they on. If you out here doing dealings and dwellings with the Epsteins and them, you are part of the problem. So it said Epstein texts with House Democrat during Cohen hearing, documents show. Shout out to the Washington Post. Newly released documents from the convicted SO estate include text messages from here that appear to influence the lawmakers' questions to Trump's personal attorney at the 2019 congressional hearing. Baby, now she was out here using him. She should be advocating hard for the files to come out. We want everything to come out, and we don't want it covered up. Don't hide the names. We want to see it all. We want to see it all. Oh, no. So it said when exchanged texts with Jeffrey Epstein during the congressional hearing, they wanted me to pay to read the article. Absolutely not. What happened? Stacey Plaskett, a Democrat who represents the U.S. Virgin Islands, because y'all know they corrupt too. Y'all know that's where a lot of these predators love to go. They love to go to the Caribbeans, the South Americas, the Central America, the Asias, because they can have free domain. The Africas, they want free domain over the children. I keep telling y'all, if we don't protect the children, they're just going to harm them physically, emotionally. Y'all already know what they're doing. Y'all seen the proof. Y'all just don't care. Y'all love the predators. That's why y'all champion them. Not me. I don't care nothing about them. I don't have a favorite congressional leader. As a non-voting delegate exchanged texts with convicted SO Jeffrey Epstein during a 2019 congressional hearing, the delegate's office confirmed to CNN. During the hearing, Congresswoman Plaskett received texts from staff, constituents, and the public at large, offering advice, support, and in some cases, partisan vitriol, including from Epstein. Plaskett's spokesperson, Angeline Jabbar, said in a statement to CNN, as a former prosecutor, she welcomes information that helps her get at the truth and took on the GOP that was trying to bury the truth. The Congresswoman was previously made clear her long record combating SA and human trafficking for her disgust over Epstein's deviant behavior and her support for his victims. We shall see, because they're supposed to be voting on the House floor about the file. So we shall see. The texts first reported by the Washington Post were released Wednesday as part of a roughly 20,000 page of documents made public by the House Oversight Committee. The release text redact the name of redact the name of the person Epstein was texting on February 27, 2019, the day former Trump personnel Attorney Michael Cohen testified in the House Oversight Committee about the president's conflicts of interest, business practices, and payments. And we know that Michael Cohen pardoned Trump's alleged mistresses to silence their stories before the 2016 elections. The Washington Post analyzed the text messages and compared them to the footage of the hearing to report Plaskett was texting Epstein. Now, why would you want your name redacted, Miss Mama? Why would you want your name redacted? That is so crazy. This is why I say I don't care who's involved. Expose everybody and let the cards lay where they be. Because to me, if you want to hide that, what else are you hiding? You know, Trump deleting files as we speak. Ooh, now he's deleting the files. Yup. Can we get 100 likes, please? And thank you. Epstein had ties to the U.S. territory because he maintained a home on Little St. James in the Virgin Islands, which he acquired in 1998 and purchased nearby Great St. James in 2016, according to a lawsuit filed in 2020. Again, U.S. Representative Plaskett, what are you hiding? What are you hiding, and why did you want your name redacted? That's all I want to know, especially if he was helping you. Wouldn't you want that publicized? According to the Post, Epstein seemed to have been watching the hearing, and his text to Plaskett appeared to influence what the delegate asked Cohen. In one exchange, Epstein texted Plaskett, Cohen brought up Rona, keeper of secrets, referring to and misspelling the first name of Rona Graff, a longtime Trump assistant. Plaskett responded, Rona, she added at 2:25 p.m. Quick, I'm up next is that an acronym? Suggesting that she would be questioning Cohen soon. Epstein responded, that's his assistant. At 2:28 p.m., Plaskett began questioning Cohen and asked about Graff along with other Trump associates he had mentioned, according to the Post. Now, if this man was helping you, again, Plaskett, girl, you look crazy for not wanting to be like, yes, he was helping me when it came to the Cohen trial. What are you hiding? I don't like when the girls get to hiding stuff because I can't trust you. I can't trust you. It's hard for me. I have trust issues when it comes to the girls hiding just basic things. This is very basic. Because she was complicit. I mean, she was complicit in something because why are you hiding that you're texting Epstein? And how did he get your number? How did he get your number? What kind of deal was you working out with him, girl? This is how I feel about all of them. Y'all know I don't give a damn. I don't care. We already heard about the Uchiwali with Bill. Now we're hearing about Plaskett. Baby, release the files and don't cover up the names. We don't want to play Blue's Clues. We already had to play Blue's Clues with Virginia Guffrey's book. I don't want to have to play Blue's Clues because y'all refuse to do the right thing. Do right by the victims. It says they sent all those trolls to distract. How much y'all getting paid? Ooh, I want her to release her phone records. If she's willing to release everything, then I'm cool with that. Yeah, release everything. Because, baby, what was you doing? It's giving you was doing side deals. It's giving you was doing side deals. I don't know. It says the trove of documents released earlier this week show that Epstein mentioned President Donald Trump multiple times in private emails. The release came amid renewed pressure on Congress and Trump administration to release more documents related to Epstein. The House is expected to vote on the bill today. They're expected to vote on the bill today. Meanwhile, Trump directed the Justice Department on Friday to investigate Epstein's ties to a slew of high profiles, including former President Bill Clinton. You see the distraction, but Donald Trump came out today and said he wants us to see the files. I want to see the files without the black marker. Don't redact anything. We want to see the clean copy. We want to see the unedited version. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Y'all already told us that Ghislaine Maxwell had no involvement, so let it just be. Let it be. Do y'all agree? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, smash that like button. I didn't read the Virginia book, but I heard she was scared to write it. So we can trust that Trump didn't do anything to her. Baby, it was very detailed. It was very detailed. She kept out a lot of names, but it pointed to a lot of people. People are out here doing videos right now as we speak. Who is who? Who is who? I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I'm telling y'all what I know, not what I heard. I'm telling y'all what I know. Baby, that's a good book. We've been reading it at the job on our lunch break because we wanted to know. We wanted to know. We wanted to know. That's all we wanted to know. But let's get into some of these fools who are black, but if you let us tell it, they might as well be white. Let's get into Pharrell.
As we look at what's going on in the current political climate, I'm just saying to I don't want to turn anybody off. I hate politics. I like despise them. It's a magic trick, and it's not real. I don't believe in either side, because I think when you pick a side, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just gotta say that. Think about it. The wells are drying up, and then, okay, now that diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people in there tonight? And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on. And if diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I want to focus on being the best because I can bank on that. Because that's what's going to get you the position. I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to panic and not let me out the room because I'm the best.
I hate when these people be so out of touch, they're dumb. I can't stand when they be so out of touch, they're dumb. For real, like, please. I had to shout out my cousin. He said, shut up and rap. We don't ask for the positions to be made for us due to our race. We ask that you include us because we are gifted and don't look over us like your family has done for years due to our race. Simply put, I can't stand when somebody like Pharrell gets up there and say something like this because this is the same man who was anti-policing and y'all are tripping about Black Lives Matter. We refuse to speak on Black Lives Matter. Refuse to talk about police brutality until his cousin was murdered. His cousin had to be murdered for him to even think, let me understand what's going on. And his cousin has money. Y'all are looking at Pharrell. Pharrell always had money. He's always been well-to-do. His family is from Virginia Beach, Virginia. You have to be in a certain tax bracket just to own a home out there. They teach him all the time when he's out there trying to do Down by the Water, a festival, when they don't give it to him because them families out there in the 757 keep showing him that he's black. Does he say that? Well, I'm the best. They don't want to hear it from your black ass. And this is what I'm talking about. They go and pick the most random black person and say, here. And we're like, we did not ask for the nigga. Stop playing with us. We didn't ask for him. We did not ask for him. If race was not a matter, the fact that this another black woman just happened after the Dallas incident, a black woman from Chicago was turned away. I have the proof because people don't believe you when you're sitting up here saying, child, it doesn't matter what we do. They find a reason not to like us. Not to like us.
The surprise of
This woman.
My daughter's in active labor, and this is a Franciscan Crown Point being put out in active labor.
Active labor being put out. I want y'all to see it. While y'all talking about here pro-life. We're pro-life. No, you're pro-white babies.
So we gotta transfer her to a different hospital.
While she's in active labor. And had her baby in the car. It says, a husband had to deliver a baby in his truck on the side of the road after Franciscan Health Crown Point in Indiana kicked his pregnant wife out of the hospital due to lack of cervical process, which you can clearly see her in duress. The family believes this is a traumatic experience. Sue them. They don't learn anything unless you sue them. I don't know why people be like, well, I don't know. I don't want to sue. I don't want to cause a problem. Sue them. Get a transfer of wealth. Now is the time. Get the transfer of wealth because there's no reason a woman in active labor, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. People with medical degrees know that is dangerous. I don't even have a medical degree and I know that is dangerous. That is considered an emergency. You never move a woman who is actively in labor and tell her she has to leave because of no progress. They wanted that baby to die. And this is the problem. Y'all keep believing they're like, oh, I'm so pro-life. You conservative hoes. Where are you at? I don't see y'all screaming from the rooftops for these pregnant women. I don't see y'all screaming from the rooftop about the free lunches and breakfast for the children. All the children should be doing is learning. Trying to keep up so they can be number one again in education, literacy, math, science, but they can't because they're hungry. Y'all want these children selling themselves. That's why y'all don't care. Y'all can't come over here with your conservative talking points talking about the religion, the faith, the religion, the faith, the religion. I don't believe you. I don't believe y'all are good Christians. I don't, because every time y'all show me y'all can be something better, y'all show me how demonic y'all are. Because y'all don't care about your own. You don't care about the poor whites, so you damn sure don't care about the rich blacks. Please. A lot of it is jealousy because of ignorance, because you wasn't taught anything, because you were a child left behind. Now let's get into Nicki Minaj, Onika Tanya Mirage, because she's out here elated that the people have chosen her to be a token for the machine. I keep telling y'all, I get paid nothing. None of these hoes can afford me. But y'all are out here saying, yes, Nicki is a UN. Nicki the UN. Nicki set up to talk about Nigeria. She's not African. She's not a Nigerian artist. How come they didn't go get one of their own? They could have got DeVito. They could have got, what's that other one's name? Burna Boy. They could have got, I think, WizKid. They could have got, what's her name? Beautiful. They could have got Tim's. They didn't. They went and got Nicki Minaj. It says Nicki set to speak at the United Nations along Ambassador Mike Waltz. The Mike Waltz, who was told to shut up at the UN because he was lying. The Mike Waltz, who was called out by President Trump. The Mike Waltz that was fired. Y'all just be buying into anything. It says U.S. envoy the UN, Michael Watts, and rap superstar Nicki Minaj will deliver remarks early this week on the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. And they're going to use her and loop it like they do because she does know. I don't think she's that dumb. She does know she's being used because she needs them for something. What the something is, I don't know. But she's out here being a political pawn too. So I say F her too. Anybody that's over there standing with the right and it's oppressing us, please. She's not even an American citizen, but she's out here oppressing y'all. Going to go stand up for Nigeria. She's going to be a part of the bloodshed. And I will never let her forget this, because why are you standing in the midst talking about the persecution of the good Christians as if they're not persecuting Muslims? Nikki is not dumb, but she keeps bowing down and kissing the ring. So she wants to kiss the ring. Let's talk about it. Kudos to her. The unexpected collaboration was arranged by Trump advisor Alex Brusewicz, who will also speak on Tuesday's event. Clown behavior. And Nicki Minaj is not arguably the greatest female recording artist, but also principled individual who refuses to remain silent in the face of injustice. Injustice. Okay. I'm grateful she's leveraging her massive platform to spotlight the atrocities against Christians in Nigeria. Just the Christians, not the Muslims, not the active African spiritualists that's out there as well, just the Christians. Oh, okay. And I look forward to standing with her as we discuss the steps the president and his administration are taking to end the persecution of our Christian brothers and sisters. That means sending more people to war. To send more people to war. Oh, okay. Ambassador, I am so grateful to be entrusted with an opportunity of this magnitude. I do not take it for granted. It means more than you know. The Barbs and I will stand down in the face of injustice. We've been given our influence by God. There must be a bigger purpose. Child, y'all just buy into anything. And don't worry, because I come with receipts. Y'all love to believe the bullish. Where is it? Here it is.
Actually do about Sudan, and really about a lot of the African conflicts, and to really understand what you can do.
Oh, it's coming up. Don't worry.
You gotta know about the gun to genocide pipeline or the gun gold pipeline. Either way, just so you can understand it. So I'm gonna show you how it works. Imagine mines in a conflict zone that produce precious metal, right? Then armed actors that tax it, and then it leaves in crates that say equipment, but hold more value than you've ever seen in your whole life. Then it lands in cities that melt and restamp it. The paper makes the bars clean, and money buys the guns. That's how you wash the whole thing. So I'm gonna just give you the system in plain words: mines, tax, crate, melt, paper, cash, guns. That's the whole method. And I'm going to show you about the gold standard, because a lot of people say we're on a fiat system. They don't believe in the gold standard no more. According to who? Because the central banks are buying gold nonstop. The central banks are buying gold all the time. And here's how they make it happen. They extract it in Africa. They wash it in Dubai and the UAE. Then they refine and certify it in Switzerland. And then it reaches global markets in the banks, the ETFs, the vaults, and the loop is the shadow standard. The gold has become anonymous collateral that backs off ledger deals and weapon buys. So just to show you the direct line, because a lot of people are really confused here, right? Africa, Dubai, Switzerland, global finance. That's how it even works. That's how they make money. So I'm going to give you some examples on the ground just so you have a good idea of what this even looks like. Picture some miners digging, right? Militias collecting all the money. Brokers moving the crates to transit hubs. And then planes fly to Gulf refineries. Right, from where? From Kenya. I want you to stay focused though. Reports show hundreds of tons and billions of value flowing to the UAE channel since 2023. That cash funds procurement and pays fighters. So just to show you another map. Sudan, hundreds of tons, billions. UAE reports, right? Just to show you another side. Let's talk about the buyer side of things, right? How they even make this happen, just so you can understand it. A private trust buys an LBMA stamp bar. Right? They buy LBMA stamp bars from a Swiss desk. Those bars once passed through the Gulf. The trust uses the bars as collateral and swaps them into currency. Liquidity appears. It all shows up, and no bank has to ask where the ore was even boxed. So just so you get this other line, I'm trying to make it super clear for you. The Swiss stamp, it hides the origin, right? It hides the origin of the bars, right? That gives them collateral, allows them to produce collateral, and gives them liquidity. Also, let's talk about who's been affected so far. Right, because this is not new at all. I'm going to go through the list. East DRC, Rwanda routing, the CIR, what is it called? Ghana, even dealing with right now, Sudan, Mali, Burkina Faso, Nigeria. Kenya is currently is the transit hub for this whole thing. Right, they ship cash through it because they only care about where it's getting distributed from last. They don't even care about where it came from originally. And I can tell you where it's coming up next: Tanzania, Ethiopia, Uganda, Benin, Togo. I'm just saying, I don't even know if I pronounced that last one right, but that's how it is. I put them on the screen for you right here. Just so you understand. Let's go into how this works, right? How does the shiny how does the shadow finance system work? So it matters because once a borrower is certified, banks and ETFs treat it as clean collateral. Right? That's why it matters. Corporations and bullion banks and central banks use gold as a shadow reserve. So buying, leasing, lending on it, and in a crisis, gold flows become a private liquidity while public debt keeps growing. So certified borrowers are collateral, right? The banks and corporations use it as a shadow reserve. Right, still buying the gold standard on their own, right? So if we really want to injure the RSF and shut down the pipeline, we have to demand real targeted action. Right, on this whole pipeline, not slogans. We need three things exactly, right? So public feedback audits for refineries, period. We cannot help them without doing that. Another thing we got to look at, right? Is where we're demanding it. For UAE and Switzerland, do not let Switzerland off the hook. Do not let them off the hook at all, right? We also need beneficial ownership transparency in free zones and safe licensed buying centers and mining zones, plus any humanitarian cash for communities. Anything, right? Because you have to understand, when the United States pulls cash away from these zones, right, from places that they were formerly providing aid, these conflicts, they flare up real aggressively, and then they get more gold, which fuels the shadow economy. So we need to audit refineries, force ownership transparency, and funded, guarded, lawful offtake. Because the point I'm trying to get at, overall, just so you get the whole idea, is that when you say Free Sudan, if who took the gold isn't running through your head, demand the ledger. Demand the ledger. Make spectacle mean accountability. Because the paper is honest and the killing is financed in plain sight. I want you to understand. Please demand the ledger. That's what we need to look for. We need clear accountability across all gold that goes through Switzerland. All gold that goes through UAE. All gold that arrives in America. We need clear lines on that. And unless we can demand for somebody to do that, unless we can get a president or anybody, any type of system that could cause that to happen, then wars in Africa will consistently be profitable because places like Hong Kong, places like Dubai, places like what I said, Switzerland, will be cleaning centers to wash all the gold. They'll wash all the gold in any place that finds resources in the future at all. We'll run through those people. We're going to talk about what you can actually do about Sudan.
And y'all want to believe that Nikki care about the Nigerians and the Christians. Another one.
I'm going to show you the origin of white supremacy, because white supremacy is distinctly Christian. They are not separable, because it did not start with Europe, and it didn't start with Virginia, and it didn't start with Cotton, and it damn sure didn't start because the West misunderstood the gospel. It sure didn't start because of that. It was because the West inherited a gospel that was already built to serve power. And the split begins the moment that a man meets the disciples of Jesus and walks away saying he learned nothing from them. That's where it happens at. A man who never heard Jesus teach, never saw him liberate a single body, never watched him confront empire, and still believes his revelation outranks everyone who did. And once that seed is planted, the rest is inevitable. Because I want you to use your head for a second. If revelation outranks relationship, and knowledge outranks presence, and interpretation outranks witness, then you can never be seen in God, only interpreted in God. This is how a new authority is born, not founded in what Jesus taught, but in what a man decided Jesus means. Right, what he meant. This is the hinge of history itself. So I'm going to show you how this works, right? Because Genesis already told you the pattern itself, right? The serpent does not tempt with evil. The serpent tempts with knowledge. You will be like God, knowing good and evil, right? Right, that's what it said. So good versus evil is what gets introduced right there. He replicates this. Flesh versus spirit. Old man versus new man. Adam versus Christ. Law versus grace. Works versus faith. And Jesus teaches non-dual kingdom, right? Love your enemies. Judge not. Blessed are the poor, right? That's what he teaches. Let's go forward a little more, like hierarchy, right? You will be like God. This is hierarchy between human and divine, right? He replicates this, right? Slaves, obey your masters. Wives, submit to husbands. Citizens, obey governing authorities. Spiritual hierarchy. But Jesus says the greatest among you shall be the servant of all. That's what Jesus says. The first shall be last. Do not lord over it like the Gentiles do, and we can go right on along to the nakedness and afraidness, right? The nakedness, the shame, the need for covering. He replicates this. Women must cover their heads. Shame of the body. Covering through Christ's righteousness. Shame-based identity. But Jesus teaches consider the lilies. Right? Consider the lilies, right? The children are the model. That's what Jesus says. Let the children come. Let's even go further. Mediation, separation requiring bridging. So this literally happens. He literally gets replicated again in real time. Christ as the mediator. Need for apostolic authority. Sacramental hierarchical church structure. But Jesus literally says the Christ is within the kingdom of God is within you. That's what Jesus says. Direct access. Where two or three are gathered. It's that easy. Let's go even further. You will know right? That's what the serpent says. You will know. So he literally replicates this, right? Salvation through correct belief. Faith as intellectual asset. Doctrine as a boundary maker. Heresy as danger. But Jesus literally says, by their fruits you will know them. Those who do the will of the Father those who do the will of the Father literally will be living in practice over belief.
Hello.
Who do the will of my Father. Right? Not believe the will of my Father. Christianity repeats the fall. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Christianity repeats the fall with the new fruit. Christ as knowledge. Not Christ as life. Not Christ as liberation. Not Christ as kingdom unleashed. Not that, but Christ as a system to believe, a doctrine to master, a formula to accept, and a righteousness to grasp. This is not faith. This is the tree of knowledge wearing a cross. And once that tree is switched, everything that Jesus actually taught becomes unnecessary. Because Jesus, if you actually understand Jesus, you know he speaks in stories, touches bodies, breaks chains, feeds the hungry, blesses the poor, warns the rich, confronts empire by name. Right? By name. But what does the next voice say? Slaves, obey your masters. Wives, submit. Honor Rome, for it is God's servant. Stay in the condition you were called. If they are harsh, endure. That's what the next voice says. And because he attaches Christ's name to it, people mistake obedience for holiness, suffering for righteousness, and hierarchy as a form of divine order. This is the exact point where liberation becomes management. It's the exact point where kingdom becomes doctrine, where presence becomes belief, and where Christ becomes a concept and the gospel becomes useful to power. It did not take 1,500 years to conquer Christianity. It did not take that long. It took one generation. Just one. And that generation chose the letter over the life. Because white supremacy did not invent its own logic. No, it didn't. It inherited it. So I'm going to show you the formula that it received fully intact. Right? It got the formula literally handed in the mail. Spiritual equality, material hierarchy, obedience as a virtue, order as righteousness, suffering as proof of faith, authority as divine, liberation postponed to heaven. I just want you to understand. He literally handed them a system where the oppressed behave themselves in the holiness, and the powerful retain their structure, and the poor carry the morality, and the empire receives religious cover, and unity just means don't resist. Ain't that familiar? Ain't that familiar? And I want you to understand this, right? Just understand this. Christianity doesn't have a cancer. No, it doesn't have a cancer. It's actually Christianity itself that was built to survive empire. It was the version empires always preferred. It was the version the West amplified and the version that whiteness baptized in the law. Because a cross, right? Christianity is not a cross that just frees souls and not bodies. Right? That was never what it was supposed to be. Where liberation is symbolic and obedience is material. Where justice is hypothetical, but submission is mandatory. Where the kingdom is invisible, but the hierarchy is realer than ever. That is not what Jesus spoke on. This is actually the soil that whiteness grew in, though. A religion that taught entire peoples to reinterpret chains as spiritual maturity and domination as a form of divine order. And the worst part about this is that the Christianity that shaped the West, the one that actually changed the West, preserved every word that the system builder wrote and silenced almost everything that the teacher of liberation actually said. That's what they did, right? Because you cannot build an oppressive civilization on the Sermon on the Mount. You can't do it. You can't build empire on the last shall be first. You can't justify domination with the blessed or the peacemakers. You cannot build hierarchy with let the oppressed go free. You cannot sanctify obedience with do not lord over one another. You can't do that. You can't crown authority with woe to the rich. You can't. So the West needed a gospel that neutralized Jesus without deleting him. And it found one already ready-made, portable, and obedient. Already aligned with empire before the empire ever touched it. Before the empire ever touched it. And that gospel replaced follow me with believe correctly. That's what it did, right? It replaced that. That gospel replaced the kingdom is within you till the kingdom is deferred to heaven. That's what happened. That gospel replaced liberate the oppressed with submit to authority. That gospel turned Christ from a living presence into a set of propositions. He was a liberator in real life, right? That's what you love, right? That's who saved you, right? As a liberator, you turn, but that gospel turns him into only a sacrificial mechanism where his words are meaningless, and where his teacherhood, right? Where everything that made him a teacher is reduced into doctrine, and what was actually a love-led revolution is just a religion that fights for itself. This is how Christianity survived. This is how it survived. This is the one that spread. This is the one that conquered. This is the one the West inherited, and this is the one whiteness weaponized. It's not because whiteness is creative. No, they're not so creative. It's because whiteness is obedient. See, I don't want to hear that. Whiteness is obedient, and it's obedient to the version of the Bible built to serve hierarchy from the beginning. So I'm just going to make it make sense for you. White supremacy did not hijack Christianity. They just followed the blueprint Christianity handed it. That's all it was, right? It wasn't the blueprint of Jesus, not the blueprint of the kingdom, not the blueprint of liberation, presence, or truth. No, but the blueprint written by a man who learned nothing from the people who walk with Jesus. That's what it did. That's what they did, and they built a gospel that could survive any empire that needed obedience. Yeah, I mean, this was so on my mind, man, because it's just insane. It's just insane to even see this. I'm just saying, the type of commentary I've had about Paul recently has been insane, because I want you to understand, right? I want you to understand. White supremacy did not create the gospel, right? If that's what you believe.
Hello.
White supremacy did not create the gospel. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that white supremacy recognized itself in it and then called it holy. That's what happened, right? That's the Christian origin of white supremacy. That white supremacy loved what they had to say. Loved it, feeding. I'm going to show you the origin of white supremacy.
And people hate to hear that, but you got Nicki Minaj, y'all out here praising her, talking about she's doing the work for the good Christians. Y'all, please. I told you, I could spot a fool every day. I could spot somebody who need that APAC money, that's getting that Israel money, that need to go out here and turn to people. Nicki Minaj even went against her own fan base. I remember Nicki Minaj when she first came out, and the whole Nicki Minaj was so controversial. Her fan base is predominantly LGBTQ. And now they're MAGA. And you have her fans. And I'm not talking about OG bays. I'm not talking about the OG barbs. I'm talking about the ones who were out here, who are more left standing, left presenting, who are like, we love light. Let's hold hands. We can be gay and all this other stuff. She came out and was like, I don't care. She said, I don't care about your gay issues. I care about the Christians in Nigeria. A woman who was out here cursing women's wombs. A woman who was actively saying she would kick in a child's teeth. A woman who says she's been a victim since 2018. Wasn't using the very religion that she claims to be standing on, is out here wanting to free the Nigerians, but she don't give a damn about what's happening in Trinidad, Tobago, and how they're being conquered, and how their fishermen are being bombed. Nothing. I told y'all, there's a fool every day. She made amazing records, but her records aren't that great for the oppression of black folk. I'm sorry. I just think that's crazy. And she's out here retweeting the MAGA supporting people who love her. Retweeting it. You can look at it. She, in my opinion, she been a rights conservative supporting leaning woman, just in her acting and her antics with other women. But now she has nothing to lose, because she's like, I'm sick and tired of you hoes. And y'all wonder why Judd Birdstein dropped her as a client? And y'all was actively, Bree, please talk about her lawyer. She wasn't dropped. Let me tell you something. No lawyer in America is dropping their attorney from a high profile person. I'm here to tell you that right now. She was dropped. Oh, she had to go get other legal counsel. That's because she literally allowed content creators like Armand Wiggins and Tasha K, and including her, to say that her lawyers was stealing from her. Because she's had the same legal team since the first hit record. Are y'all okay? When did Nicki Minaj started needing a YouTube crisis team? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. She has taken on Tasha K to be her crisis PR management. Armand Wiggins. And all the others. Now she got some MAGA Republicans. And y'all believe she cares about the Nigerians. Last time I checked, what has she done for Nigeria? Talking about the good Christians, baby, they have all types of religions over there being persecuted for their natural resources. But she would know that if she got outside her way, talking about, I care about the Christians. funny. I didn't see you say anything about the Christians being attacked in Trinidad. The Christians being attacked in New York. In Queens. By ICE. You had nothing to say. But I'm supposed to be impressed because she's going to stand beside a known racist? Come again? All for her personal gain? See, I'm not new to politics. I know what Mike Waltz has done for the community. Nothing. I know why he was fired. I know why they told him, you will not lie on Cuba. What about those good Christians? You only care about the Christians that Donald Trump cares about? Child. And on that note, I'm not impressed. I told you I can spot when the girls need a little APEC money. It's very weird, very strange. Hey, Psalm 23. But on that note, what are your thoughts, Space Squad? What are your opinions? I truly believe the good white folk weaponize religion to spread their isms and their propaganda. You know how I know? Because they did it back when white women wanted jobs. And they didn't like that black men had the jobs. They did it in World War II when black women were stay-at-home wives and were living the soft life. And they weaponized religion to get the women out of their homes and put them in the factories and get to work because they was mad because they weren't taking care of their children. They're always weaponizing something when they can't have their way. Hence the whole making America great again. But we seen the coons with their hats on. And I love that for them. I will never let them forget it. Never. You voted for this. You voted for your family to be deported. You voted for women to lose their rights. You voted for all that. Y'all don't care about the children. I'm sick and tired of y'all saying, oh, because I'm pro-life. Y'all don't care about them children. Y'all don't give a damn about the kids. The kids couldn't read for the past 20 years. Literacy rates just down in the dumps. Y'all haven't cared about the children in over 2 decades. Y'all just want them to go to war so they can feed your lifestyle, so you can go buy you some gold and make sure your kids have all the things and the resources, and you get to laugh next to the rich and high and mighty, while we have people out here with no hospitals, no schools, no nothing. This is why I say I don't have a favorite politician. I don't have a favorite billionaire, please. I'm not anti-capitalism. I'm just a realist. I can see things for what they were. I'm not defending anybody. I wish I would defend somebody who's made millions of dollars and swindled their own legacy. This is nobody's fault but Nicki Minaj. Y'all keep bringing up the old talking points. Nicki had to fight all her life, okay? Anybody who wants to be successful has to fight. But she is aligning with someone who don't even view her as a person. She is considered an illegal immigrant. And if she steps out of line, he's supporting her ass. But what do I know? And he took away birthright citizenship. Child, you can't. And the Supreme Court had to fight back and say, whoa, that's a little too much there. Her having her son don't even protect her. But what do I know? What do I know? I never came to y'all and say politics was hard. I could always keep up. I know who started these free lunch initiatives, but y'all talking about it can't be done. I remember what they did with the taxing of the rich. Hence how we got Social Security today. And hence why they keep bringing up Reaganomics, because it destroyed it. I understand it, but y'all don't. And this is why I say, when the adults are talking, children, please leave the table. Go to bed. Go to bed. The adults are speaking. I have to treat y'all like how y'all mamas didn't treat y'all. When you see adults in a conversation, I advise you to take your ass to bed before I get my belt. And on that note, what are your thoughts, Space Squad? What are your opinions? Comment down below. I gotta go. Bye.